Tim Hasselbeck, thanks so much for joining us as always. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm a friend of the show now.
Good.
Absolutely.
I know.
That
You're like our fourth member.
It's more of an acquaintance. It's more of an acquaintance, not a friend. But yeah, sure.
But I'm curious, when you look back at the games on Sunday, there were a lot of head coaching candidates on display. And I'm curious, what was more impressive of a performance? Was it Todd Bowles' defense versus Aaron Rodgers, Eric Bieniemy's offense, or Leslie Frazier's defense?
I'm going to go with the performance by that Bucs defense and the plan that Todd Bowles had for Aaron Rodgers. And I'm saying it in part because look at how Tom Brady played in the second half. Like, yes, he's amazing. Yes, he's going to his 10th Super Bowl, all of that. But he turned the ball over 3 times in the second half.
Yes, he did.
He missed a bunch of throws in the second half. And I think the way the defense responded was remarkable against an offense that really had been just about as good as anybody that we've seen this season. So I think the plan that he had in place, the job that group did against Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, who they knock out of the game, the job they did on Devontae Adams, I thought it was brilliant. And, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's been one of the best defensive coordinators in the league for a long time.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he's now lost his last 4 conference championships, and that calls into questions a lot about his future, something that our Packers reporter Rob Demovsky spoke a little bit on.
Anyone who's been around Aaron Rodgers, and I've covered him his entire career, knows he doesn't say anything without thinking it through first. Now, only he knows what he meant by his comments after Sunday's NFC Championship game loss. But I asked Coach Matt LaFleur if he thought he'd get another crack at one of these with Rodgers, and he said, quote, "I sure as hell hope so. He better be back here. He's our leader."
So my question to you then, Tim, is how do you see this future rolling out for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I think he's back in Green Bay next year. I think the tensions of what happens beyond that, become a little bit more significant. And, I do think it's probably hard for him to look at what happened where, in a game, an NFC Championship game where he outplays Tom Brady, they end up losing the game because, quite frankly, the Bucs defense played significantly better than the Green Bay defense. And so, Tampa's gone all in to help Tom Brady. And I think that Aaron can probably at least, talk himself into a situation where he doesn't feel like Green Bay's gone all in to help him, get it done, win another championship. So, look, I could see there being frustration. I could see there being, different rumors during the offseason about, his relationship being strained with either with the coach or the organization. But ultimately, I think he's back as their starting quarterback next year.
Well, it sure helps when you're 4th and goal from the 8. You take the ball out of his hands to make sure that relationship is smoothed over. Tim, follow me on this one. Tom Brady's 43 years old. When he starts the Super Bowl for Tampa Bay, he will have started in his lifetime, not his career, 23% of the Super Bowls in those 43 years. That cements him as the greatest team athlete of all time, no?
I mean, it is. I mean, to think what he's accomplished. Listen, when we were talking about the championship game thing, he had been to 14, and the next closest is Joe Montana at 7. I mean, there aren't words, there aren't adjectives to describe what he's accomplished. And what's remarkable is that typically you would think somebody that's climbed to the top of the mountain the way that he has, would have come into the league as a first-round draft pick. I mean, he essentially had to fight and claw his way onto the field. And then once he did, he's done it better than anyone that's ever played the game. It's incredible. And so, yeah, in terms of team sport athletes, I can't imagine, because it's so hard to affect the game all by yourself, in a sport like football. But a quarterback obviously has a big effect on the game that he has to be the best.
Tim, at what part of his life and his career do you think that horseshoe just kind of really got into that keister and stayed there? Because I'd argue that's the luckiest horseshoe ever.
I think in your time around the New England Revolution rubbed off on him. And that's probably what did it. I just say, you guys did share a stadium.
Yeah,
right?
we did.
Share a stadium.
Oh, yeah, we lost fortune.
All Taylor.
Yep, boy, hurt.
Awesome. Tim, we appreciate you. Our 4th family member here. We'll see you very soon, I'm sure.
See you guys.